How's everybody doing? My name is DJ, and I am the host of the Boss Talk and Beyond podcast. Today we have
Diamond. Woo, woo, woo.
Oh yeah, welcome, man. Welcome to our second day of recording, and I'm glad to have you. Let's dive into it, man. I know you got a lot of things going, so
I
definitely,
do. I
definitely
do.
tell us everything that you have going on, the different businesses that you're running, the different things, and we're gonna start. Then we're gonna start, asking you about your story and your background and everything.
Alrighty, well, my name is Diamond. I am an entrepreneur, black business owner. Let's not play with it. I own a nonprofit. It's a youth development program. It's titled DREAM. It's an acronym. It stands for Dreamers Rising, Empowering Adolescents Mentally. And in this program, I focus on about 4 to 5 pillars where we focus on travel initiatives where we want to give young people in the District of Columbia area, specifically in Ward 8 and 7. We want to provide them with opportunities to just broaden their horizons and know that, they can reach the stars far beyond their zip code. We focus on entrepreneurship. I feel like the difference with my program in the entrepreneurial aspect, we actually invite business owners into the classroom with the young people, and they actually teach them their craft. Right. And so it's not just coming to have a speech and say, hey, I started a business and you can do it too, but it's actually showing you, it's teaching you that particular skill set. And the purpose of that is to pique their interest, give them a sort of starter kit to success, and they take what they can with it and run with it, and maybe they like that, maybe they like a different business that comes into the classroom. And so I want to teach them that. We also focus on mentorship because I feel like any successful person in the world, they've had someone to help them on their journey. And so, we need guides. I mean, in DC, it's a lot of crazy things going on, and our young people are lost. And so it's important to have someone to look up to, someone that can mold you. Right. And we also focused on, of course, the educational piece, because we want people to be successful. You need to be smart, okay? Right. And so we help them in that space as well in school, and just really helping them build a community, and we do community engagement as well. But that's just like the gist of it. Hitting on those pillars and just really giving them the best chance at being successful versus, the traditional way of, hey, go to college. You can still go to college, but now you have things that can help you while you're in college. And so that's why, that's one of the reasons that I created Dream.
Okay. Let's talk about, your background a little bit as well. Are you from the DMV area?
Yes, I'm from DC specifically,
okay,
Southeast.
DC. Okay.
The area that I want to serve. I've been born and raised there. I still currently live there. And growing up, even though I was raised in the hood and I've seen a lot in the hood, I also had opportunities where I was exposed to a lot of different things. And so I've been in rooms with Maya Angelou before she passed.
Right.
I've been in her home.
Right.
2 homes at that. I have been in parties where I'm with Oprah Winfrey and we're putting on performances for her and so many other prominent figures. And as a kid, I didn't really understand that until I got older, and I was like, wow, that kind of helped shape me to who I am now.
Right.
And so I'm like, I need that. The young people need that, because had I not experienced that, I would not love to go and travel as much as I do now. I wouldn't want to go and that's why I want to go and, let other young people know, like, hey, it's just bigger than right here in this living room.
Right.
It's bigger than the violence that you see out here. It's a world of happiness that you can go and find. Right. And so, that's the background. Like, I wasn't like the best student. I was always very smart. But I got into my fair share of trouble.
Okay.
You know,
Oh,
got
yeah.
got into my fair share of trouble. Just out here just doing crazy things. But I had people, and I was in certain rooms where I'm like, okay, this is not essentially what I intended, but I like it. I
Right.
like how this is turning out. I got lost on the way, but then I found my way back.
Right.
And it's because I held on to that experience that I had as a kid, and I was like, I can do that again. If I did that as a kid, I can for sure achieve that in my adulthood. And so, yeah, that's pretty much
Where it started
the
from.
background.
No, I like that. I like that. I like that. With me, I know when I was growing up, I started shoveling snow in my neighborhood. I
Yes.
started washing
I
cars.
had my share.
In my neighborhood. So I was gonna ask you, like, when did your entrepreneurial, I guess, spirit start? Like, did you always have it, or did it come to you like later on in college? Like, when did it start for you?
It came later on. So I started my first entrepreneurial business in 2018. So the nonprofit that's the most recent.
Right.
I
right.
started crocheting. And
Okay.
so, well, let me take it back. At this center, I used to go to a recreational center and I learned how to sew. And so I didn't do anything with the sewing skills. I mean, we did what we did in the facility, like put on fashion shows, made clothes, we did that. They took us to sell some of the items that we made, and then I kind of just let that do its thing.
Right.
But years later, I got just this spark to learn how to crochet. And so I was like, and I told my husband, I was like, yeah, I want to go and try this out. And so he like bought me the yarn and stuff. And then I went and I just was like, all right, I'm doing it.
Right.
I didn't have a job at the time. And so it worked out. I needed a way to, make money. And so I said, I could really do something with this. And so, I started making hats. And then I was like, well, let me start selling it. And then that's kind of how it started. I did know that I couldn't continue to work jobs because I just felt like me and jobs never worked out. I was always quitting the job. Okay, management sucked. I just felt like they just didn't have the right type of spirit to be leading people, and I feel like I do.
Right.
So
right.
I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to do my own thing. I feel like I can do it. It's been hard though. It's been hard. It's not like this just like straight away path to success. I mean, you have some roadblocks, you got some ditches, you're going to fall down
Right.
a couple times, but you figure it out and you get to it. And so that's kind of like how it was bred. And then I went on into youth development, and then I continued to just like have this passion for young people. And then I was like, well, nonprofit, let me go and enter that world, because I was working for a nonprofit.
Right.
And
But before we get into the nonprofit, we're going to dive a little bit deeper into this crocheting though. So you currently still do crocheting?
Yes,
today?
yes.
Okay. Let's talk about, where do you do the crocheting? What classes do you have? Are you, talk about that as well, that part of the crocheting.
so right now, first I participate in pop-ups or
Okay.
markets. I am in this very, very major market right now. I'm like super excited about it. It's called the Downtown DC Holiday Market.
Okay.
And so it's located in Washington, DC's Gallery Place, Chinatown. And what they do is it's a holiday market for 30 days. And they invite, you can pay for a booth. It's like a tent. I want to say it's like 10 by 10 or something like that. But you have a booth, you pay for it, of course, and then you sell your products for 30 days.
Right.
Now, the reason how I came across this opportunity was because I had a friend. Thank you for the friends in high places, okay?
Amen. Amen.
I had a friend, and I told her, and I was like, please, keep me in the loop. I'm trying to really go big, and I want to be, I want to know about any opportunity that comes available that, you see fit for me and I see fit for myself. And so this organization called Made in DC, they provide opportunities to small businesses. And so under this organization, they allowed a small business owners like myself funded it. I just needed to provide the products. And my business is doing great.
I know.
I mean,
if you guys don't know about the DC market, holiday market, they be busy.
yes. And so it's open 7 days a week.
Busy.
And people are traveling the world to come for this market. And so for me, this is very major because I've never participated in an event of this magnitude.
This is crazy. I'm over here low-key scared to sell my candles away. I need to do it too, but man, no.
Please.
That's
And so it's just like, I mean, I'm just on a high right now, okay? I'm just on a high right now.
I know you're going crazy.
Yes, I am. And so I have to go like restock my products and stuff like that. So that's amazing. So I'm doing that.
But hold on. No. You just touched on something. Hey, everyone. My name is DJ, and I am the host of the Boss Talk and Beyond podcast. This podcast is for entrepreneurs. It gives them a platform for them to share their services or products. It also gives them a platform for them to tell their story. This podcast is also for you as a viewer. Feel free to be inspired as you listen and gain any knowledge that any of these hosts or guests are able to, give to you. We hope you like and subscribe and follow us and enjoy the rest of the show. So an event of that magnitude, how are you, I'm sure you got, back stock, but are you just in the house now crocheting just to make sure you're able to have enough product? Talk to me about that.
So one thing that I've learned over the course of me crocheting, if I've made too many things before, and sometimes it didn't always sell. And so what kind of helped me out is I did still have some things that didn't sell, but then I also kind of reworked it to figure out what I felt like would sell at this moment. And so it's cold, and I'm like, hat and scarves would be great. The people are walking around in this market freezing cold. You got your hot chocolate stand, you got your s'mores, and also the vendors themselves, they might be cold too. And so I decided to just not make a lot of things, but kind of make a small amount, but give them a variety of different products. And so as I seen, what was selling, I was like, okay, now I can go and do this. Okay, now I can go and restock up on that. And because now I'm not spending more money than I'm making. And so that's a major thing in the business world, because I'm like, it's so many times I'm just so excited and I'm spending all this money on yarn, and then I'm like, okay, you're not selling,
right.
Let's get back to the drawing board.
Right.
I love what I do, but I mean, I have a daughter, bills need to be paid, and I like nice things.
I got you. I understand that.
That's that. So that's how I do it. I do small batches, and I just was going and checking out and seeing how the products were doing, and talking to people, because I don't have to be there. They have someone manning the booth. So,
hold on, Made in DC has somebody?
Yes.
Oh, so they did that too?
Yes.
Hold on.
So they hired a company. It just so happens that the company that they hired, I just graduated a business program that they curated. Great, by the way. Black Bone, okay. So all my Black Bone sisters, I hope you're tuning in. But they hired that company, and so they have people and chefs who man the booth, and we gave them our price points, and so they put it in their POS system, and that's yes, it's just kind of selling for itself. People come and they see oh, how much is this, and you're like, oh, I want to buy it. I didn't have to do anything, okay? I didn't. Let me tell you all something. A lot of times in this business world, we think that we have to have it all together. I didn't have bags. I was like, do I need to provide bags? No, we have our Made in DC bags. Thank you.
Right.
I don't even have price tags on it. It's in the system, And so I think that kind of helps, because now it forces you to go and talk to the person manning the booth, and then they can say whatever they can say, and
you gotta teach them a little bit.
Right,
Of course.
And so it's it's not like you come, a lot of people when you go shopping, you kind of like to be in your own world. I don't really like people asking me, do I need help? I know what I came in here for.
Right.
But in this setting, to come and ask me for a price, it's like, yeah, that's a price. And, this is great. And we have this and we have that. And so they're promoting the products for us as well.
Right.
We have social media. Our products are being broadcasted on the different social channels. And so it's like a whole process. It's lovely, and I'm very, very thankful to just be a part of it, to have this community, and to have this opportunity.
Right. Oh, that is amazing. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going to bring it back because I'm actually very interested. So Made in DC, what is the process of that?
So to be a part of this Made in DC organization, you first have to have a business license. So your business needs to be certified. You need to show them that you are a licensed business, and then you also need to be a DC resident.
Oh, okay. That's what
so you need to be a DC resident. DC is really plugged in with so many opportunities for businesses. You just have to go and find it.
Right.
Some of the stuff I didn't know. Just, as I've been more engulfed into this business world, I've been learning things more and more. And so my friend, and she was a former colleague, we used to work together.
Right.
And so she's like one of the managers of the organization and that specific area.
Right.
On getting certified under them.
Right.
And so, yes, that's what I had to do.
That's love.
And yeah.
I might have to go buy a house in DC and just
I'm
a DC resident or something, something. Rent something, I don't know.
Listen, I'll give you the goods, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
It's a way, okay? We gotta do what we gotta do.
Make something happen. Man, we gonna definitely talk, man. We gonna definitely talk, because I have candles. I know, I know a lot of people may not know this, but yeah, I make and sell candles, handmade candles, scents, all the way down to the labels. So I was literally just walking the DC market and everything, and I'm like, one day I want to be here. You know how you dream big and try to make it happen. And so, like, knowing that there's actually other programs out here that would help you, put you in these type of, marketplaces of that magnitude, like you said.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't been to the DC holiday market, man, it is crazy.
Yeah.
Like literally shoulder to shoulder on the weekends. Like it's crazy out there.
Yes.
Man.
It's still crowded on the weekdays, but like you said, it's really shoulder to shoulder, okay? And they are just having a ball in the code. I'm like, okay.
Right.
If you like it, I love it. You know?
Exactly. No, okay, so moving from, the crochet, well, do you still do the classes?
Yes, I'm currently teaching young people how to crochet now. I'm at this recreation center in Ward 8, a center that I actually grew up in.
Okay.
And so I'm there. Love them so much. I taught them over the summertime as well, and so now we're back for their fall program. So through the school year, I'm teaching them how to crochet currently at the Southeast Tennyson Learning Center. Okay, so if you're watching this and you're in DC, please come and enroll your students down there. Not just for crocheting, but they do a lot of great things.
What's the age limit?
So it starts at 7 years old.
7 to
17.
17.
Well, 17, 18.
I got you.
Once people go to college.
You can't do it. I got you.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right, we got the crocheting first. Then we moved into, what's the next business?
So with the crocheting, it's like I'm doing different things. So I sell my own products. I teach. That's another way that I can make money. So I'm like contracting. And so it's not just contracting for recreational programs, but it's contracting. I'm trying to secure a government contract for the city. I'm trying to go big, It's contracting for other organizations like DOC one day, Department of Corrections, because I want to help people with rehabilitation, because crochet can be it can be utilized in so many different ways, and it's just all about how you put it on paper.
Right.
essentially. And so, yes, those are the two businesses. Am I hoping to get more businesses? Yes.
Okay.
I'm hoping to be a serial entrepreneur, but the nonprofit and the crochet business is what I'm doing currently.
Let me also ask you this: how are you making your connections? Like, are you going to networking events? Are you just meeting people as they pass by? Like, what is your main way of making these connections with people?
So with crocheting, when I first started, building your clientele is just really making a social media presence.
Okay.
My friends, I also have friends who have businesses and, are very supportive. And so they repost my things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one way of getting my name out there on that aspect. But then it's also going to go search for the opportunity. So I've been a part, if I see a holiday market or like a pop-up,
Right.
that's something a little bit more on a milder side. But I will go and pay for a vending table at the pop-up, and then people are able to see me there. I'm going to networking events, to meet like-minded business owners for my nonprofit, and I'm just kind of trying to put myself in these rooms.
Right.
I hate networking, but I love it at the same time because, you can hit it off with someone in the room, but then it's that following up piece that I dislike so bad, okay? Because, I'm following up and then, people are not following up. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. And so it's just really just trying to figure out what resources are out there, and then I'm just going about it. When I came across the Black Bone program,
Talk about that too. What is that?
so Black Bone is a all women's program where it was an application process, of course, but basically you had to be one. You had to be one to empower other women, and so they wanted women who wanted to come in to build a community, to be serious, to be about your business, and you had to either be in the idea phase or like a startup. And so if considered for it, once you got into the program, they basically brought different people into the room to help us build our business. So that's writing a business plan. Well, coming up with the idea, writing a business plan. We did pitches. I mean, like pitch for money.
Right.
All right?
Right.
I got a chance to win a pitch. We did it. The very first pitch was a group pitch. And so we had these make-believe businesses. And I really love the way that they kind of got us into the mode of pitching for our businesses, because they said that, hey, if you can pitch for a make-believe business and give it your all, then, it makes it easier to go and pitch for something that's really close to your heart.
Right.
And so that's what we did. And, these are women who have different businesses, and these are women who align with what I'm doing.
Right.
And so that I can pay to help me and do whatever it is that I'm trying to do, whether it's a grant writer or whether it's another organization that I want to partner with, because we're both doing youth development work. You're just hitting a different age range than I am. And so it was all of those different things. And then they bought people from the bank, and they talked to us about credit and like business funding, and I mean they really hit every avenue.
That's great.
Okay.
That's great.
And it was just like, all right, I'm here for it. We're practicing and pitching, and I'm like, I don't have a problem with public speaking, but when you're not when you haven't been doing it for a while, you kind of get a little rusty. And so I was very rusty. I was like, I needed to get back into it,
Right. Sure.
And so now it's just like they kind of like charged me up, and then now I'm gonna go.
You're gonna go. No, I definitely understand that. Like pitching, I did like a pitch competition during like one of these big events. And it was nerve-wracking, I will say that, because they actually had judges, and there was a whole line of people, and I was actually asking people, because I've never done a pitch before. I was like, how do you do a pitch? How do you do the pitch? Like I don't know how to pitch. Like I never had to really do it. So I'm low-key, not low-key, I am a quick learner, and somebody was able to give me a pitch that they would do for themselves, and I was kind of able to focus on my photography, and I was able to come in third. Excuse me. So that's my first time doing a pitch. So I definitely understand that. So, but also with the Bone program, is that only in DC, or is that anybody that wants to join? What is
so that? It is only in DC, and I was the last cohort. Now,
Okay.
hopefully they create another cohort because, again, I think this is an opportunity that
That's amazing.
everyone needs to be a part of.
Okay.
And as a matter of fact, is it only to DC residents? Because I don't think that that was a requirement. But then again, you know, we just love DC and
Right.
like, you know, we
Right.
trying to help our people out. So don't quote me on that. But I will say it is in DC. That was the last cohort. But they're always working to push the pin on something, you know, greater than what they did before. And so
Right.
I hope that they come out with something else because, I mean,
No,
we
that
need
sounds
it.
amazing. Yeah.
We
Yeah,
need
need
everything. And
We
so
need it.
that's like more, you know, they've added to my networking channel. And now, you know, something like what you're doing where you're creating a Discord, like you're trying to continue to build the community and add more people to that who can share
Yes.
what they do. That's what they do. And so now
Okay.
they have, you know, they already have established relationships with very great people because they've been doing this for so long. We were the like third or fourth cohort or something like that.
Okay.
But they've been doing this for a while. And so, and these people, these women, they are great. And so I'm super thankful for them. And so now whenever opportunity comes around, you know, they send us an email, hey, it's a market here, hey,
Right.
you know, here's a grant opportunity, hey, this, that, and the third. And so it's very great to know that, you know, the door's still open. It's an open door policy. You know, no matter where you are in life, where you are in your business, if you fall off now and you decide you want to get back on it, they're there to help you pick up the pieces. And they helped us, aside from, you know, getting opportunities to pitch our businesses. They did give everybody $500 to do what you want to do on top of an additional $500 to utilize for something in your business, whether you needed to get your business certified,
Right.
whether you needed to pay for a business license, maybe you needed to pay some back taxes so you can be in good standing, whatever you needed to
Right.
do, they had that for you.
That's amazing,
and so truly thankful.
I might be in the wrong place living. I should have moved to DC. Cause like, man, cause
Okay.
like with DC, like I feel like everybody looks at like the pricing of DC, and then like DC is cost too much.
It does.
But nobody ever looks at the research behind DC,
Right.
and like how it can
And it's
help
a
build
lot.
community. And I'm learning.
It's a
'cause
lot.
The things you tell me, I'm like, hold on.
When you in the right room,
Right.
oh my gosh, the sky's the
The
limit. Okay.
For sure.
And
For
so, you know, please come through. You know, even if you like rent a suite or something. I don't know, you rent an office for something so minuscule, you and a couple of your friends.
Right.
That's an address. You know, now this is saying that I got residency here, some sort of residency. Now I can go ahead and take advantage of these opportunities. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's true.
Let's get on it. What are we doing? What are we doing? It's our time. It's our time.
Oh, okay. Yes, so let's go into Dream now, right? How did you come up with that name? Where did that come from?
So, I love to dream.
Okay.
I'm just like so out of this world. When I used to work for Amazon, right? I hated Amazon, but I used to always, when I used to deliver packages, because I used to have to drive over the Bay Bridge, and I would deliver to these great homes. I mean, the guest house were mini mansions, okay? I mean, it was just like so beautiful. They had these long driveways, and I would just dream like, oh, this is me, you know, here coming to my home, you know, just whatever, right? But I'm just dreaming so big, and so during my time, I was working at a high school, Blue High School, Ward 8 as well. And I used to talk to the kids all the time. And I would be like, you know, what's your wildest dream? And then they would just not have anything. And I was just like, you don't dream?
Right.
Like, you don't think about where you're going to be and just like it being so great, or you know, you driving this nice car, or you been in this nice house, or just whatever. You don't dream. And they was like, you know, I'm just trying to make it to see tomorrow. And that like really hit home for me because you know, like I wasn't mad that he wasn't dreaming, but I was just so disappointed because the fact that you feel like you can't focus on, you feel like the only focus is surviving. And so I wanted to change that narrative. You know, I know dream is just a name on paper, but in reality it's so much more, you know, and I added that mental piece, that mental health piece, because I forgot to mention this, we also focus on mental health as well.
Okay.
And we need to have our minds in the right place. Life can get so crazy, and sometimes it's hard to think about the good things in life when you're so surrounded by so many bad things. And so, you know, that's why Dream is here to provide you with the resources so that you don't feel like you're not prepared. When I graduated high school, I felt so unprepared, okay? My parents didn't teach me how to pay a bill. My father hid the bills from us. He like, you know, I got this.
Right.
I didn't know about credit like I do now, but I already messed up my credit. So now I'm in a repairing process. You know, I learned about it enough so that I didn't mess up my business credit, which is great. And so
Right.
I've been building that, and that's doing good. But that personal credit piece is like major. And so I'm like, you know, let's not do that. You know, you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. I mean, you can be in places that you never thought that you would be in, but you just have to. The Bible says to have faith of a mustard seed, okay? And so I want to teach young people to just, you know, have just a little inkling of faith.
Of faith.
And do the work.
Right.
You know, do the work.
Right. Water.
Like you can't just have the faith and then not do what is needed right after. And so faith is the hope that you will have these things. And so I have faith that Dream will do what it's going to do. But hope is like the expectation. You know, I'm expecting that everything will come. I'm expecting that the kids will grow up to be who they're supposed to be. I'm expecting that when they come into the room and they learn how to design some shoes, how to, you know, be better at public speaking, I'm expecting them to take that and then now go into the rooms that they didn't think that they could be in, and then now they're just wowing everybody.
Right.
And so that's how I came up with the name. And again, I was working under a nonprofit at the time, and the nonprofit that I was working for was not doing all that I felt like they could be doing for our youth. I have a thing with people wanting to use our faces, you know, people who look like me and you just for $1, but we're never really seeing the benefit of that dollar. And so that's what I was saying, you know. They wanted me to go and recruit people under the guise that they would be able to travel the world internationally, but really that was an opportunity that they were giving to other kids that didn't look like us, okay? While they had to decide amongst 5 schools to send one of our black kids to Dubai, they sent 20 of their kids to Dubai. And it's all under the same program, but one is in D.C. and one is in another state. And so I said, you know what? I can't be under this program anymore. I need to go out here and do the things that I wanted them to do. And so, because I feel like it resonates with me more than it resonated with them, because I'm black. I've been in the same seats that they are in. I've just seen so much, and truthfully told, I don't even know how I'm here, but I'm here because clearly God seen bigger and better for me, and He needed me to be the one to bridge the gap. He needed me to be the one to, you know, pick up the baton and carry on with this. And so that's how Dream has been created.
I love that. Because like, you know, education is needed within our community. So I really like kind of resonate, because like, you know, growing up, it's like we see all these people doing everything, but we don't know, either we don't know how to get into what we want to do. We don't know, you know, the background of a business. We just know we want to have a business. and we don't know, different stories or things that come with having a business once you get it started. So, you being able, like you were saying at the beginning of everything, bringing in entrepreneurs and kind of have entrepreneurs talk to these kids, these younger kids, and like you said, helping them figure out their own path in a way that they want to go when they get older, when they get into college, so that, like you were also saying, that when they get into these, into college or wherever they want to do, they already kind of have an understanding and able to set up that business and can start making money right there from college. I was also one of those type of students or kids that I hated working for somebody else. It was still to the same, but hey, it pays the bills, but it's cool. But I remember in college I was working at PacSun, and it was cool during the holidays and everything. But once it started getting hot, I'm a photographer, so I started taking graduate shoots. And pictures and stuff like that, and I was making more money than I was at PacSun. So it's
definitely an eye opener.
I don't know why I'm saying. I might cut that out. I don't know why I'm saying the name, but I had to like stop working, or they asked me to come in, and I was like, I got to shoot at the same time.
Right.
I was like, can I come in a little bit later? Like, no. I could have chose this over this because, like I said, I was making more over here. But, PacSun is definitely I'm saying it already, but PacSun is already, a great place to work and everything like that. But I was just making more money working for myself.
And I'm pretty sure it was more fulfilling.
Yes.
Okay? More fulfilling.
It was.
And that's the type of work that I'm into, things that make me happy, things where I can feel like I'm truly making a difference. We're much different than our parents and our grandparents, okay? Because they've been indoctrined to just take it and just like, it's okay, just go. And we're like, no, we're going to fight back in a different way. We're going to demand the things that we want. And if you're not giving it to us, then we'll go and give it to ourselves. And so, that's what I'm into. Yes, I want to make money, of course, who doesn't? That's the way that we have to survive. But again, I want to do things that can add to, the overall goal of like helping people. I can say you made them feel good when you did the shoots for them. And, they like, well, I feel good about spending this money with this person, versus someone who's just like, I just want to put a price on, who's not really attached to their work just as much as you are attached to your work.
Right.
And so that's the thing. While I want the students to be entrepreneurs and things of that nature, because you need more than one job, more than two jobs, but I want you to be in love with what you do. I want you to make connections. I want you to just not necessarily go where the wind blows, but go where your heart goes and, have fun and do it good. Yeah. All right. You get to college, that broke college student saying, okay, you done already learned how to do about 10 different things from ninth to 12th in my program, and now you can go to college, and now you can make a little money on the side, okay, so that when the cafeteria closed, you got a little something to eat later on.
I definitely understood it. Yeah,
it's the party coming. Maybe you want some new shoes. You want to look good. You want to celebrate yourself because you done passed this semester. Okay, you want to take a load off, like whatever it is, like. Let's do it. And you can be able to do it because you did right by yourself during that 4-year mark,
Right.
And so that's what it's really all about for me.
No, I love that, man. Definitely inspiring the youth, man. So what are your goals for Dream? Like what is the next steps that you're looking to do in the future?
So I am officially going to do my launch party.
Okay.
Coming in spring.
Okay.
And so I've been planning that. I have some good connections to like get it out there. And so I want to do that. I want to, of course, secure my first grant.
Right.
And so at my launch party, of course, I'm going to raise money and things like that too.
Right,
because, grants is not the only way that you can make money through a nonprofit.
Do you have any ways that you are, wanting to raise money? Because maybe by the time that this comes out, somebody can help you. So what are different ways to help?
So, I'm making a website. People will be able to donate directly through the website. That is in creation now. We'll have like a business cash app or something like that.
Okay.
And
Cool.
then just those two, or PayPal or something, like those different avenues like that. And then you can kind of get an idea of the thing, know more about me, of course, see some of the connections that I've had with the young people, because I have connections right now with different schools. And so, it's really like the money piece, honestly, because yes, I can go in there now and teach the young people, but I want to be able to pay the contractors, pay the business owners.
Right.
And so it's literally just that funding piece, because I have already have like my first 5 businesses that are ready to just like come in
Just
and
ready to
do
go.
their
No,
thing.
that's love.
And then I already have an arsenal of mentors who are ready.
Right.
And so I just really have everything. Just come give me the money.
No.
That's it. That's it. And so
that.
that's my goal. Do my launch and start raising some money and continue to just build my networking portfolio.
Okay.
In that, because Dream and the crochet business, they kind of going work for each other. And so yes.
No, I love that. I will say, kind of piggybacking off of you, we do these businesses, of course, to make money, but with the money that you're making, make sure it's good money,
Oh, for sure.
Make sure that you're making money the correct way. And the reason I say that is because, we have these, sales and use tax and stuff like that we have to pay for either quarterly, annually, whatever, or monthly. That's the one, make sure, you got to make sure you're paying those taxes. And when you have a business, you got to pay the annual taxes.
It's a lot.
It's so many taxes.
And with this nonprofit, it's a lot too. Yes. It's just so much stuff you got to stay on top of.
Yes.
And because it is a area where you can make a lot of money, people who ain't never had nothing don't know how to do right by it. Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
They start saying I'm in here for the, I'm on my good foot. I'm I want to help everybody, but then they get it in their hand, and then you start doing something that's not you should be doing. And so I'm keeping God with me, and
for sure,
my heart is never changing. You can't tell if I got money or if I got all the money, because I'm always the same, no matter the dollar in my pocket. And so,
love that.
Wanted to teach that and just do it. And then I just hope that, God will.
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah, definitely got to keep the faith for sure. And just believing that the right path is before you. So I love that. And then also kind of looking back, what is something that you would have told yourself, or would tell yourself in your earlier years, let's say about, I don't know, maybe 20 years ago?
Ooh, 20 years ago, I would have been 9.
Okay.
I think what I would tell myself back then is to don't let people get in your head. You are perfect just the way you are. And I'm here today because I didn't get too far gone off of what people have said, because people didn't say nice things. People wanted me to kind of revert to the shadows and kind of change myself and my personality. And they said that's the only way you will be able to fit into these rooms. And the reason I am in these rooms, of course, because of God, but it's also because of my personality. How I dress, how I can I'm seen before I'm heard, and then once they do hear me, they're like, oh, I like you.
Right.
I like your personality.
Right.
And because you are what people will go for. And don't let people tell you different. Of course, you know, there's a way to, you know, kind of like market yourself and change this a little bit, but you know, you're not a bad person.
Right.
And you just had some bad decisions. And that's it. And, you know, to continue to just, you know, follow your heart, you know, do what you want, but also seek counsel, okay? Seek counsel. You know, don't be as hard-headed, okay? But still be you.
Right. At the end of the day, always be yourself, man. No, I definitely understand that, you know, because, you know, any kid or any younger person, you know, is gonna have their own mind at the, you know, at the time or at the age that they are. But, you know, it takes, you know, it does take time to really gain that, all right, now I see why so-and-so was having me do this. Now I see why so-and-so was having me sit through this. Now I see why so-and-so has got me in these classes and trying to, you know, make me a better person in this way. Like, it eventually comes, but like, if you get to know that at the age that you are as a younger person, man, success is only, you know, is right there before you.
I'm telling you, like,
right there. Like,
confidence on a child, yeah, we need more of that, okay? We need more kids who know that they are everything and beyond
for sure
as a child, okay? Because then they can grow up and be overly confident adults and really put their best foot forward and not revert to the shadows, not like, you know.
For sure. No, I definitely get that. But you know, other than, you know, just having passion for whatever you're trying to do, you need to definitely do that research. You know, you need to definitely make sure.
Do it well.
Do it and do it well. One thing about me is, and I'm glad that the things that I've gotten into, you know, I am actually passionate about. But one thing about me is, like, I am the type to think about stuff when I'm driving. I'm the type to think about stuff when I'm, you know, taking a shower, and then the next day I go and do it without any research. Which, it could be a pro. It's definitely been a pro, but you know, and as I go, then I start learning. But sometimes I'm like with this, you know, that's why I'm not posting right after, you know, this, because I'm taking my time.
But you have a plan.
Yeah. That's right.
You have a plan.
There's a plan.
And it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So, like, you know, but I'm normally the person that's just like, all right, I just thought about it, I'm going. Like, you know, any logos that I've made, especially with my candle and my my photography, I made those just dreaming off of it. You know, having a dream, it was like, okay, I can actually do this. Like, let me create this. Like, my candle logo, sometimes I surprise myself with the things that I've made, because I'm just like, yo, like, it literally comes off of a dream, or like I said, being in the shower. So
it's just meant to be, because I'm the same way. I just get ideas all the time. And I love to go to sleep. I feel like I have great ideas when I'm asleep too. And I'm like waking up and I'm like, oh my gosh,
I gotta do this, like, right there, right, so I don't forget
it. I'm like, okay, that sounds about right. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give it a try. If it didn't work, I just be like, all right, let me figure out how to make this work again, and then do it. And so, it's a great thing to always be working at it and never giving up. You know, you can take a break, you know, but don't give up completely. Always rework the plan. Okay? Just like a resume is always changing, you know, plans sometimes have to change a little bit. You know, you might got to tweak it here and there. But the end goal is always still the same. You know, just like the end goal of a resume is always the same. You're trying to get a job. You know, you're trying to get into an internship or whatever it is. You're trying to land something. And the plan, you're trying to land something. Okay, whether it is also a partnership, whether it's also a contractual agreement or something of the sort, you need to continue to work at it. And, yeah.
No, I love that. Something else that I would give, you know, as like I guess, what's it called, advice, is, you know, to younger people, is really to anybody, is to make yourself comfortable with being uncomfortable. And of course, in a positive light, right? Right.
Yes.
I did want to ask, like, what is some advice that you also give to maybe a younger person or somebody that's also looking to get into a similar journey that you've gone through?
Surround yourself around the right people.
Oh, yeah.
And in surrounding yourself around the right people, 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 And in surround also reassess the people that you are around as well. And, because when you are on something so great and you're on your journey, sometimes the people around you can hinder you if they're not on what you're on. I've spent a lot of time trying to convince people that my ideas were great, or like, you should get on it too. But it's just like, that's not your journey. It's not my job, And sometimes it made me mad sometimes, but I'm just like, why are you trying to convince people of like your dreams? Like, you just have to go and find your group of people who kind of understand the passion and what it is, and connect with them on that. You know what I mean? So your friend group isn't necessarily like your group for the business or something. That's your friend group. That's personal. You can have fun and stuff like that. But you got to go and find that different type of group, and then also, just like I said, reassess. Because as you grow and you evolve into a better person, sometimes what worked for you then won't work now. And sometimes you just can't take the people that you once could to that next level. And so that goes back to, you have to be okay with being uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Because it's uncomfortable that I can't take my best friend here. But I mean, my best friend can get a little crazy sometimes. She might not be able to handle all that's coming with this, and she might mess it up for you. And so you have to be like, all right, I'm going to leave her home. You know what I mean? I still love her, but I have to go and do this, or I'm not going to reach that marker. And then and then once you got it all, you can come out and be like, all right, girl, yeah, I did this, still show love. But always reassess, always surround yourself around the right people who can give you guidance and, challenge you. You need people to challenge you, okay? And ask those questions.
Seriously.
I have a friend, and that's my girl. I love you, sis. Give me a. But we always talk about ideas, and we always speak each other's names in rooms. And like, if I'm having an idea, I can go and consult her because she knows how I think. And she's like, well, sis, I think you should, spin it like this. Or she's like, oh, I like that. Maybe you can add this. And so, that's helped me a lot. And, having her around, having her support. And,
No, I love that.
So definitely, that would be my main piece of advice, those two things.
Okay. I would say, like, your net worth, or your network is your net worth. Honestly.
Hello, it is.
Your network is your net worth. So that's kind of piggybacking off what you said. Like, the people that you surround yourself with is who's going to, continue to build yourself up. And you can build each other up, and eventually grow.
You got to learn.
You got to learn.
I finally understood what I said. You need to go, to be successful, you have to go hang around people that are doing better than you. Okay?
Yeah.
And so I have a group of people, like, we aspire to be better. Then I got the group, okay, you're doing better than me. I can learn from you. Me figure out how to work that, because you need that. You know? Like, you're doing better than me. Of course, I got to learn from you. How are you doing it? And so that's very, very imperative on any journey.
For sure.
Okay? Your network is your network. Yes. Okay? Let me go get this, building this network. Okay?
Right. Well, we definitely enjoy having you on the podcast. Thank you for coming out today. Where can we find you? What is your, social media titles? I know you're just coming out with Dream, so I don't know if you have that yet. But yeah, let us know where we can find you, connect with you. Maybe somebody has questions. You taught me some things today, so maybe you can help somebody else. Like, so yeah, what are some ways we can connect to you via social media?
So first, I want to say thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to just being a witness to your journey.
Thank you.
This is very great. I've always wanted to meet people on my journey who understand that, we kind of got to help each other.
Right.
Sometimes we can't get to where we're going if we don't help each other, while we're, at that specific position. And so I'm truly, truly thankful for this opportunity. Like, you gave me the platform to share my story.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes,
this is the first. This is the first.
Real and authentic,
and
man.
So, I can't stress this enough. I can't wait to go back and watch it. So thank you again, DJ.
For sure.
And then on social media, you can find the social media handle at the end of this podcast video because I don't remember it offhand.
I got you.
I'm going to give you my personal, the crochet page, of course, where you can find all the goods, get classes, and then Dream. I am building up my Dream Instagram page, but please follow.
Yeah, for
please
sure.
follow me on all 3 pages and stay tuned because, as I've said, the website is coming out, launch party
wait
is
for
coming
that.
out.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm going to need you to be there to
I
be
got you.
capturing the moment. Okay,
I got you. Yep, I got you.
You
I got
know,
you. I got
like
you.
let's
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it done.
Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure.
And so yeah, stay tuned, you guys, because we are doing something great, and now he's a part of my network, and I am his.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
So what we talking about?
Oh yeah, definitely appreciate
Thank
you. We're gonna definitely have some more information in the description box. Right now, we are currently live, or you're viewing this from, or we're at, excuse me, Focus and Creatives in Baltimore, Maryland. So definitely check out that website and that link in the bio to book the event space. And yeah, again, like I said, thank you guys for viewing. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll be back for some more, man. Stay tuned for another episode, Boss Talk and Beyond. Appreciate y'all.